Hello, we meet again this week for our long weekend video. Today we are going to be looking at the real problem. Yes, by the way, we are going to be doing a series on it. So we'll be talking about the real problem of sugar. We will start We will start by talking about the different sugars, then the reaction they provoke. We will also look at the risk before talking about the benefits, and we will finish with a conclusion. There are two main types of sugar, those one glucose and saccharose, but we will come back to them later. There is two types, the complex carbohydrates of protein and lipids, fats, found in rice, potatoes or pasta, and finally the category of simple sugars, starch, fructose and lactose, but unfortunately it is also added in many products in which they are absolutely useless. Glucose and sucrose, the latter chemically C12H22O11 is the worst, and for health, and glucose C6H12O6 is a little better. The latter, together with fructose, form sucrose. So we can potentially blame fructose, and we'll understand why in the next sections on reactions. In the meantime, glucose has the characteristic of having a weak sweet taste, but with more energy, whereas fructose causes a strong sweet taste, but with very little energy. We now come to part 2, the reactions. When we eat sugar, it activates the so-called sweet taste receptors, and sucrose, having a much stronger sweet taste than glucose, make us feel this much more strongly than glucose. The receptor then sends a signal to the forebrain, the brain's stricter senses, which also sends the sweet taste signal to the cerebral cortex, which then activates the reward system. This same reward system which activates the hormone dopamine also produces insulin, which is supposed to be the hormone that regulates blood sugar levels. Knowing that dopamine is the pleasure hormone, and this insulin will make you ask the question, do I like it? Do I want to do it again? And let me tell you, the answer will be yes. This whole system will also produce a change in tolerance to the substance. At the beginning, a little will give you a good sensation. Then, with the same quantity, the sensation will be weaker, so you will ask for more to get the same sensation, and then the sensation will drop. So you will ask for more and more. It's a vicious cycle of addiction. We'll now look at the risks and consequences. We have already talked about addiction linked to the change in tolerance, which can lead to withdrawal and that can be really dangerous. In fact, an experiment was carried out on mice, and it was found that it altered their emotion and behavior, leading to depression and severe anxiety, all because of a part of the sugar. So beware, but there is more to come. Also, due to this molecule, it can cause tooth decay, which is logical, but it would be stupid to forget it. But don't go there. Wait for the benefits. And there is also gluttony, which means we eat a lot of sugar without being hungry, but it causes the same sensation but without nourishment. What's more, we also have overweight and obesity, which can potentially cause cancer, tumors, or cardiovascular diseases. Although there is no need for these to develop these types of consequences. Incidentally, I forgot to mention diabetes, but it's not longer an issue. Another reason is capitalism. Once again, because business in general, mass commerce always want to sell more, so we always consume more and so on. Where I go very fast in it because there is a lot of Americans who watch my video. Finally, the benefits. First, the pleasure of dopamine, indeed, but in moderation, so as not to fall into a terrible addiction. Second, the glucose is very energizing, which is a good thing, but in moderation, so that you don't end up with too much energy that you don't use, and unfortunately it's the less sweet. One final positive point, according to the BBC, sugar consumption in developed countries has fallen over the last 20 years, although it is still too high. To sum up, we can conclude by saying that it all depends on the different types of sugar, bearing in mind that sucrose has many other names or variants, maltose, dextrose, and so on, which glucose doesn't have, or has less of. Finally, it can be said that it should be consumed in moderation. But now you know why, and here are some of my sources.